Hey everyone, thanks so much for tuning in. My name is Kira and this channel is called Acting with Kira, and as the channel name suggests, it's all about acting, and here we just really dial into specifics about craft and theatre and just acting, all that fun stuff about acting. So today I want to talk about one of my favourite words. You'll know if you've worked with me, but I love this word and you probably already guessed what it is. And it is specificity, and it's just good. So before we dive in, please hit like if you like the video, hit subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, and yeah, that's it. Let's get into it. Let's first of all talk about what specificity means. Specificity means, and really it is specific choices. Being specific, knowing why you were doing what you were doing as a character. So if you making a choice and having it backed up, like it made that for a certain reason. And it just allows you to get more detail in the performance, which in turn makes your character more real, more 3D, more three-dimensional, more human. All of those little details, all of those intricate details is really what builds up a picture from a third person perspective, from another person to who we are, right? All those little habits and things that we do. So finding these specificities, these specific moments and choices for your character can really add that to who you're playing and make them real. So the first thing I want to just mention is that your choices can change. Hey, excuse me while I interrupt myself. I just wanted to let you guys know that I'm about to launch another group of the 6-week Rediscover Your Fire challenge. So if you want to get your acting fire back, if you want to access that spark, that passion, if you're feeling a little bit stuck, or if you just want to dive into some new techniques and really grow, and if you want to work together, then that is what the 6-week Rediscover Your Fire challenge is all about. So if you want to learn more, then just go to the description box, click on the link that I will put there, fill in the form, book in a call, and then we'll be on a call together to discuss whether it's the right fit for you. Good stuff. Let's get back to the video. So when you're rehearsing something, something that might hold you back from making specific choices is that you're not sure if it's the right one, and therefore you don't want to commit to it. But really be aware that when you're rehearsing and playing around, you can try things and you can play with them for a while, and then you can put them to the side and you can play with something else. You're not committing to something by trying something out and making a specific choice. You can always change and find something new, but if you don't try anything to begin with, you'll end up not finding as much detail, and it will end up being a bit more vague and a bit more neutral, which when you're creating a rich character, neutral's probably not the word that you'd want people to describe them as. Oh, they look kind of neutral. So allow yourself to explore and try things. Don't worry if it doesn't come out as you expected it to. Don't worry if it feels weird, because you can try something else, which is awesome, and really have fun with that. Really allow yourself to try new things and go with your instinct and go with your gut and new ideas. Yeah, it's really fun. So yes, it's important to be aware that you're not sticking to anything just by trying something out. And also specificity, let's say you're doing a monologue, doesn't mean that you make one specific choice in one place and then you have to carry that throughout the whole thing. There can be different specific moments. Let's say there's a specific choice that the other character says a trigger word for your character. They say something that, just really hits a nerve, and you know why that word they just said hits a nerve for your character. You know exactly why. That's the specificity. You've made that decision and you know that character journey, and that triggers you into locking onto the conversation. and getting slightly outraged. You don't have to hold on to that for the rest of it if you feel like there's another moment that alters it again. So you can really kind of create these different specific points that start to take you on this character journey. Which leads me to my next point, which is it creates dynamics and shade. So let's take the example of a monologue, and what can happen is it can be very easy to say, okay, this character is going through this emotion in the monologue, so I'm just going to try and play that emotion, which is one, really hard. How do you play an emotion? And emotions have so many different ways of manifesting. So to say I'm just going to play sadness is kind of assuming that there's just one universal version of sadness, which there isn't, which is also putting a huge pressure on yourself, because if you're saying I've got to hit that one universal perfect embodiment of sadness, that's such a tall order, when actually sadness can manifest in so many different ways. So you can just take that pressure off, which is nice to know. And also what happens if you're just trying to play an emotion is that you're probably not as in the scene because you're thinking about the emotion that you're trying to show, but also that it can tend to be one tone throughout. It might be a bit one-dimensional. And what adding specificity does, specific choices, is it adds that change of tone and dynamic and shade, which makes it interesting and makes you wanna get into it. And it pricks up your ears when you're listening, because you're like, when they said something, that meant something. There was something behind that they meant. And that's just the characters made a specific choice. They know why they're saying those words and they know what they mean by it, rather than, it's just all sad. So adding in these specific choices will give you real rooting and grounding into who your character is and exactly what they're going through, why they're saying things, and it just makes the whole thing way more engaging and intriguing and interesting and just good. Just good. I love watching people make specific choices and just seeing like where it takes them, and it makes me so intrigued into what's going on in the character's brain, because you start to see a life which is not just in the words but is also behind the words. You really start to see the inner life coming through, and it starts to have layers and shades, and yeah, I love it. Okay, the final point is that it's just creative and fun. I kind of said this earlier, but yeah, allowing yourself to make choices and be bold in them and add specificity is such a creative endeavor. It's all up to interpretation. It's all up to your imagination. It's you adding your flavor to this character. And something that can really hold actors back is worrying about whether they're doing it right or wrong. And it's not about doing it right or wrong. There is no right or wrong way, because it's humans. Humans are complicated, and therefore allowing yourself to really just have fun and try new things and say, I think they mean this, so I'm gonna really play that. I'm gonna really go there, not just a little hint. I'm gonna allow myself to really explore that avenue. It's really creative and it's awesome, and allowing you to bring yourself, your creative energy and interpretation to the part is really powerful and empowering for you as an actor to know that you're just really harnessing your craft and bringing your own skill set and wonderful brain to it. So I really hope that this idea and this notion of specificity, it's not a new one, by the way. I said that sounded like I just introduced something new. I haven't. But I hope that talking about it and bringing it up, or maybe reminding you about it, really feeds your creative senses and gets you excited about what you might be able to do with a speech or where you might be able to take it. And I hope you have lots and lots of fun with that. And comment in the comment section below how this idea has helped you or how it's changed your monologue. And thanks for watching. I will see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.